Artificial intelligence has become such an ingrained part of our daily lives, so much so that last week Time magazine named the architects of AI its Persons of the Year. As we look ahead to 2026, the use of artificial intelligence only expected to get greater. A new Pew Research Center study shows nearly 2 in 3 adults in the U.S. interact with AI at least several times a week, and younger adults are leading the AI adoption, with more than 3/4 of adults under the age of 30 using it, and half saying they use AI at least on a weekly basis. But the study also found that control is a major concern. About 6 in 10 Americans say they want more control over how AI is used in their lives. And that tension between opportunity and concern sets us up perfectly for our conversation now with Jeetu Patel, President and Chief Product Officer at Cisco. Jeetu, it's great having you. Thank you for your time.
Dan, thank you for having me.
You know, I use ChatGPT every day now. It's hard to remember what life was like before, even just a couple years ago. What's the next big thing for AI, for us everyday consumers? And what inning do you think we are in right now in this AI revolution?
So we're in the very early innings. I'd say probably the first to second inning. And you are right. I think this has become a habit for many consumers where, you know, if you take it away from us, it would be pretty disorienting at this point. The next era of AI is here, though, and that's actually agents. So rather than just chatbots intelligently answering our questions, we are now going to have these agents that conduct tasks and jobs almost fully autonomously for us. If you wanted to go get yourself a reservation at a restaurant and go book yourself a basketball game, you just tell an agent to do that, and it does it behind the scenes and comes back to you with any questions if it has any, and then you can go ahead and do it. And that initially starts for individuals, and then you can actually have these agents also be used with teams. And you won't just have one agent, you'll have multiple agents in concert with one another that'll actually start working. So it's exciting times ahead.
So if we're moving into this agentic phase, what is that going to do for power demand? I ask because data centers becoming such a contentious topic here in Georgia, and people hear some worried about the power, water, and land use. How should communities be thinking about that trade-off, what they're getting with AI versus what they're giving up?
That's a great question. And if you think about the constraints that AI has right now, what could be impediments that hold it back from reaching its full potential? There are 3. There's infrastructure constraint, there's a trust deficit for safety and security where people are concerned, and then there's a data gap. On the infrastructure side, it's literally the world doesn't have enough power, compute, or network bandwidth to go satiate the needs of AI. It's one of the biggest challenges that we have. So what's happening is rather than power being pulled to where the data centers are being built where the power is available. And it's actually changing data center architectures. They're getting built all over the world. In fact, now you're starting to see data centers that will be hundreds of kilometers apart that operate as one coherent unit, because you don't have enough capacity to pull power in a single data center. So you now have to go out and literally have 2 data centers that virtually act as one giant computer.
That's one of the concerns we've heard from folks. How do you think we are sitting on the world stage when it comes to building these? Are we going to be ahead or behind some other countries?
That's a great question. There's 2 major countries that will actually provide the infrastructure for AI, and the world will look very different depending on which one of them wins. Right now, we're in the lead, but it's America and China. And when you start thinking about where we are we're ahead on chips. We are ahead on the algorithms and the models that get built. Even though, China is a very close competitor. They have more power availability than we do, and so you will see kind of differences in the way that the market evolves, but it's, we want to make sure that American technology is being utilized anywhere in the world where data centers are getting built out. And data centers will be built out in sovereign nations because every country is going to want to have their ability to generate tokens, because your ability to generate tokens will be directly proportionate with your ability to, have economic prosperity or national security. So we want to make sure we help the world do that and help our allies do that.
G2, let's talk about the impact on jobs and what kind of jobs will be lost to AI in the next few years. You've said we're in the second or first inning right now. Do you think on the other side of this, AI ultimately creates more jobs or eliminates more?
There'll be some jobs that'll be lost. Virtually every job will get reconfigured because of AI, and there'll be entire industries that actually get created as a result of it. Now, what's interesting is there's been a lot of conversation around jobs getting lost. But what we've seen so far is, in fact, where there's a scarcity of jobs and where there's actually a pay increase for jobs is everything related to AI. So while people have been fearful that AI is going to take their jobs, in fact, if you know AI, chances are you're going to do a pretty good, you're going to have a pretty good kind of ride ahead of you, because there's such a huge demand for these jobs in them, and the pay scales have gone up. Even electricians, the demand for electricians has gone up, through the roof, and you see that with electricians and plumbers and all kind of jobs on the physical labor side. But you also see that with jobs of programmers. If you're a programmer that knows AI versus one that doesn't, you're far more valuable if you're a programmer that knows AI. So resisting this and sitting on the sidelines is absolutely the wrong strategy to have. And I think it's going to be while in any of these shifts you'll see kind of major reconfigurations that happen, I think it'll be pretty hard to overstate the importance of AI over time.
Jeetu, my final question, got about 30 seconds left with you. How should we be thinking about the future of higher education? You're a dad, I'm a dad. Is college going to be as good of an investment for them as it was for us?
I think college actually gives you one of the things, which is, ability to take something and complete it within 4 years. That's the biggest skill I've learned in college, is the ability to complete something that you started. But the way in which education is conducted and the way in which we learn will fundamentally change with AI. And it's not going to be a process that just is confined to those 4 years. It's going to be even after. So I feel like education will continue on, but it'll be fundamentally reimagined with AI. And I hope it does, because I think there's a lot of areas that could be improved upon.
Jeetu Patel from Cisco, a fascinating conversation. Would love to talk with you again a few months down the road, see where things stand then. Thank you for your time.
Would love it.
Hey, we'll have much more coming up right after this.